So I call this Mandy and Steve's journey. Now this is to give you some idea of the process of buying a villa. Now I'm going to give you a little bit more background about Camposol first. So we're in the southeast of Spain, the Costa Clida and Murcia region, just outside the town of Mazarron, not far from the port. Lovely beaches, guys. Is Camposol. It's a huge urbanisation. Now Mandy and Steve have been coming to Spain for about the past 20 years. They've always liked Spain anyway, but they've been coming down the east coast. I'm not going to go into the reason why they've chosen Camposol. I'll let them talk about that. They've sold their property in East London, so the East Enders. Yeah. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to introduce Mandy and Steve to you. Hope you enjoyed the video. At the end, we'll do a sum up, and then every couple of weeks I'll be coming back to see how things are going in the sale process. But at the moment, they've just come over, they've rented, they've been going out. Anyway, I'll let you know what's happening next. Okay, just a quick sec. For those people that are after the t-shirt, especially the Expat and Mazarron subscribers t-shirt, I'll bring on my model now.
Good evening.
This will be the t-shirt that you can get, guys. Now if you want a t-shirt, if you look below the video, in the description there'll be a link there. I'm off again. See ya. Mandy and Steve, you've been married for a long time now.
Yeah.
Some say too long.
Too long. And you've been coming to Spain, like I said at the beginning, for over 20 years, and you've gone down the southeast coast, and you've been to other places in Spain, not just around Mazarron area, so yeah?
Yeah.
Right. And I got on there since 2016. You started coming to Camposol.
Yeah.
And also you can be truthful. What did you think of Camposol when you first arrived there?
I think when I first arrived, I was quite shocked because I wasn't sure what to expect, and I did think, oh, it looked a little bit run down to me.
Yeah.
We drove over through sort of B and then C, then we stayed on D the first year we was here, on sector D, and even just driving through, I thought, I don't know, you see these places.
It's not what you expected.
It wasn't what I expected, yeah. And I was a little bit shocked because the roads were quite uneven in some areas.
Yeah.
And there was potholes and.
But had you seen the video of Homes from Hell?
We did see the video of Homes from
Hell. Did that sort of play on your mind as well a bit?
I suppose it did, and I don't know what to say. Sorry, Sean.
That's all right. That's all right. Anyway, just be true. Just if you want to call it a shithole, call it a shithole. But because I think
I wouldn't put that.
I don't know what's happened to shithole. I want to say it just felt a little bit run down.
Yeah. Well, the way I would describe it, as I described it to my brother.
Yeah.
Shantytown.
Yeah. Yeah.
Coming from the RM3 onto sector B, and we drove along the perimeter road, ran to the bridge.
If you look at me,
I'll look at you. I don't know where to look.
To the bridge.
I'll put that. What I'll do, I'll put that back here. So
yeah. So I'll look at you.
To the bridge.
Yeah.
And because we were staying on D, it seemed a bit like a shanty town. And I think it's because we'd seen. The only reason we know about Camposol is through your videos.
Yeah.
So originally your drone videos, and then you're doing your Place in the Sun. And then once I saw the first or the second Place in the Sun video you did, and you showed us around the villa, I thought, and the price, I thought, we could live there, you know.
So really, it's more to do with the price of the villas that attracted you more than maybe, you know, what you could see, you know, of the roads and.
Yeah, it was the price of the villas, but when we got here and we saw the area, and I sort of thought to myself, well, this is why they're cheaper, because things aren't finished here.
No.
You know, there's a lot of here that still needs to be finished. But yeah, again, you can say that about a lot of parts of Spain at the end of the day.
Yeah,
you know. But I say, seeing your video, and I think it was an Neptuner then, and you went out onto the roof terrace, and you showed the views around, and it's like, wow, that's
it's
beautiful. And the prices were good. You know, the prices are very reasonable.
Yeah.
So, and probably watching about before we come over, probably another two or three of your place in the sun. And, you know, obviously all you're really showing then is the villa and not the surrounding area. So, you know, you get this sort of false sense of, you know, of, wow, it's lovely.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So when we arrived, it was like, oh my God, it's like, you know, it's like, it felt like a shanty town to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Coming in. But that was first impressions, you know.
Yeah.
But we stayed for about 10 days the first time we stayed,
Yeah.
and the villa we stayed in was absolutely lovely. It was lovely to be able to use the pool, and then you get a sense of what is available on Camposol, and it's not just a villa. You're not just stuck in a villa and there's nothing going on. There's a hell of a lot going on Camposol.
Yeah.
There's lots of amenities on Camposol, and it wasn't until we was actually leaving that first time and we handed the keys into a neighbour because the owners wasn't there. So we handed the keys into a neighbour, and they told us about the Facebook page of Preguntas, and they said that they recommended to join that and you can see what's going on.
Yeah.
So we did that. And then you get an understanding of the community that's on Camposol, and that everyone. I mean, don't get me. You do get your keyboard warriors on that, but there is a lot of support. And if you need to know anything, and there's so much available on Camposol. So the second year when we came, and we rented a villa on B, we was closer to the shops. So it was like, actually, being close to the shops is a big help.
Yeah.
If I'm there on my own during the day, I can walk to the shop. Steve's got the car. So it was, and I think that improved it for us. And it just felt every year we came back, it got better and better, and it looked less and less run down, whether because the gardening groups have been out, and like you look, all the gardening groups do a really, really good job, and they do a hell of a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
And it just, every time I came back, every year, I just felt it feels more and more like it's a place I could actually live.
Yeah.
And we did look at other areas, only online, obviously. But we'd stayed in Albier, and it's a lovely place, but it's a very expensive place to buy.
Yeah.
And what is available here on Camposol, property-wise and the amenity-wise, it was a no-brainer for us, really. It's like, we definitely want to. From the first year of being here to say the third year, we had changed our minds quite a lot, because we thought, no, it's not as run down as you first thought.
No.
I think when you come down, you're expecting
But
this
you
posh estate, and it wasn't.
Because what I always put across is that you've got to come in and have a look yourselves. Because it's not for everybody, is it? Some people won't like this. It's a big community. I wouldn't say it's a small community. And it's got so much to offer, but it's not for everybody. Some people like living out in the country.
Yeah.
But if people like living in a community, and it's not all about, they all speak English, because you got German, Dutch, and we got Spanish here. So there is a mixture, but obviously, most of the shops you go into, they speak English, which is a big help for us.
It is a big help if you don't speak the language.
Yeah.
And I know everyone says, we'll go to Spain, we'll learn the language. And you do come a little bit complacent, because you don't have to use Spanish that often, and there's translators available, and there's people that will quite happily help you do stuff. So, I mean, we have both said, yes, we'd like to learn the language.
Yeah.
But you do get here, and then you sort of, not using it.
I think once you come out of Camposol and you go to Murcia or Lorca, you'll find a lot of the Spanish don't speak English very well.
No, and you do have to try.
So you've got to learn the language.
Yeah.
And my wife at the moment is at a Spanish class, and to be honest, it is difficult. People that say Spanish is easy, no, it's not. It's to me it's complicated, because you've got lots of other things that I didn't understand about, like male and female wording, whatever. Okay, so anyway, we're going to move on from there. So you obviously like Camposol, because that's why you're here, and the first thing that you sorted out years ago was your currency exchange, and you're using currency direct. And funny enough, on Camposol there's actually an office on Camposol, which is pretty helpful. This year you had your house on the market, you sold it. Steve had come over in about July, and Mandy had come out a couple of weeks later in July, and you were sort of having a bit of a holiday spell. because your daughter would come out.
Yeah,
and the
so
youngins.
it was a bit of a holiday period
Yeah.
at first
Yeah.
when we come here,
Yeah.
like, because obviously we'd not been away for a year or so it was nice to come and just have a bit of a chill.
And you've already sort of been looking on the internet for property, not just on Camposol, but in the area as well. But Camposol was obviously your main aspect. So one of the first things that Steve and Mandy did do is open up a Spanish bank account. Now I'm going to let Steve and Mandy talk about this because some people say you've got to do this, some people say you've got to do that. So how was the procedure opening up the Spanish bank account?
Well, what we did, we popped into the bank to say we're thinking of buying a property, we'd like to open an account. They did ask if we'd had our NIEs and we said no, we haven't got them yet, we was waiting for the appointment to come through. So they said that's fine, we can open the account without the NIEs, but as soon as we get that, just to take the numbers down to the bank. So we've opened a non-resident bank account on the branch on Camposol, and so that's fine. Obviously once we get our residencies we can change over to a resident account, but it was fine, it went through really quick and it was quite easy as well, so no issues.
Yeah, we only had to wait a week and then we
Obviously you had
got
to show your passport.
Yeah, show our passports,
proof of address. Proof of address in the UK.
like rental, proof of address.
Did you have to give your rental address to them as well?
Yes.
So we actually
yeah,
have our rental address
yeah.
that was renting,
Yeah.
and our address in the UK that we'd come from.
And the other thing is it in all Steve's name?
It is, they're very sexist over in Spain, I must
you
say.
don't have like a joint account.
It's not really a joint account. Steve is the main account holder because he's the man,
Yeah.
and I'm allowed to have a card in my name on the account.
Yeah.
So it's like that in lots of things here. It's like the man goes first because he's the man.
You can tell them what they called you.
Well, they called me a horse actually because it was like I went to sign something and it wasn't my turn. And it was no, you're just a horse, he's the driver. And it was lucky enough I've got a good sense of humour and I just let it go under my head.
The bank guy is a polite guy, isn't he?
Yeah, and it didn't mean any offence by it.
Yeah.
It was just his way.
Just
It's
the
like,
way
no, you're not
Yeah.
the main person. It's like Steve's the man, he signs, you just sign at the end. And it's like we're allowed you to have a little bit of this account. So.
And did they explain to you about the month bank charges?
Yeah, they explained, that was really good. They did explain that we have to pay so much every 3 months for the account. You don't get it for
And did
free.
they also, because they tried it with me, but they don't force it on it, about they do insurance?
They did. And she was very good, the lady that we spoke to.
Yeah.
And she gave us leaflets. She didn't push it on us too much. It was like, we do insurance, we do security. So she just gave us a load of leaflets and we took those away to have a look at.
No, the end of August, you started to go out with the estate agents to start viewing property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, they went out viewing, and it's like all things, they found their place, they put an offer in. Well, they found 2 places that they really liked. They put their offer in, it's been accepted, so that's good. Since then, Steve and Mandy have sorted out their NIE. That's already been arranged. They've got their solicitors. They also forgot to tell was that they paid a deposit and they paid €3,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just a holding deposit, so they take it off the market.
And they're being sort of given a fill-in date of probably end of October, which is sort of the move-in of your property.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do now, guys, I'm going to say that's the end of the interview, but we're just going to do a sum up of because they've been here quite a few times. Because I find it difficult. A lot of people that come onto Camposol, they don't go outside because there's a lot to offer outside. Down at the port, the area. I mean, even on camera, you can see the mountains in the background. We've got the dog down there moaning. So that little, that's the dog. It's not my foot. Because you've been out quite a lot, really, haven't you?
Yeah, we have. We do go out a lot anyway. Even in the UK, we'd go out. We're both into photography, so we do like to go to explore places to take some pictures. But I mean, it's got so much to offer, and it's just half an hour down the road. You can go to some really nice places.
Well, that's the other thing I like about Camposol, or this part of Spain itself. It's very mountainous. some beautiful views, especially for landscape photography, which we're both into. And the beaches are beautiful. You know, we're not far from anything really. You've got the Sierra Spooner.
Yeah.
You can be there in half an hour. You know, it's so easy to get to anywhere. So you're quite essential where we are. And I say there are other parts of Spain which you can beat it at the more expensive to live. They haven't got the scenery that Camposol and this part of Murcia offer. So that's one of the other reasons we moved to Camposol, because of the actual, you know, the countryside, or the campo as the Spanish call it. It's so beautiful around here. So you know, it's for us. It was you know, the reason why we chose here.
And also, well, although you've got your supermarket on Camposol, which we do use regularly, you're not far from shopping centres either. You're sort of half an hour, 40 minutes down the road from Murcia, which has got a lovely shopping area. You've got Primark, there's like in shops you think, oh, that's an English shop. You've got JD Sports, Toys R Us are over here, C&A. So you've got all your shops that if you need anything, you can just go shopping and get everything you need as well.
Yeah.
So that's really handy.
As this interview's still ongoing, what I'm going to do in a couple of weeks' time, I'll come back to Steve and Mandy and see how things are going, especially with the solicitors, and see if the solicitors have brought up anything. Now, officially, the people that were selling their place, they should have done all their licences, they should be all up to date, because that will speed on the process of them buying their property. So they could even move in a lot earlier in October. Obviously, Steve and Mandy will need to contact the removals in the UK to bring over their gear and that. So I'm going to come back in a couple of weeks' time and see how things are going. See because there's always a plan A and a plan B where things just don't go right. And if you've got any questions, guys, you want to ask Steve and Mandy, I don't know, are they worried about anything? What's their thoughts on the Brexit? We won't go too political on that, but health issues, things like that. You know. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the vid. As I always say, you've got to keep watching. If you don't, you miss something. And a couple of weeks' time, Steve and Mandy will be back here in the same place. You'll still be here in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, we'll still be here in 2 weeks' time.
I don't think it's going to move that quick.
No.
Be nice if it did, but I don't think it will.
No.
So I'll say adios amigos.
Hasta luego.
Da 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 da.